What's up, guys? It's your boy Aloe. Welcome to the tier list video. Before we get into it, if we can get this video to 3,000 likes, boys, and if we reach 161k subs in the next 24 hours, I'm going to be giving away a Demon Side Ultimate to somebody in the comments. All you guys have to do is comment your username down below, drop a like, and subscribe. Let's get right in the tier list video, guys. All right, first up, guys, as always, we start off with the S+ tier. Guys, we have seen some changes in the S+ tier. Let's go over who is still in here and why. All right, guys. Number one, you gotta go with Speedwagon, the best farm unit in the game, meta for every single mode. Next up after that, we have Irwin, meta for every single mode. After that, we have the time stop units. So what Funny Valentine does is basically stuns everybody that reaches the end. So she basically gives you a free wave or free extra 60 seconds if you're not in infinite mode. Highly recommend you get this unit for infinite mode. Honestly, it also comes in clutch and story as well. And yeah, so I definitely like, it's usually good to have one person on your team have this guy. Plus he has hair like your boy Aloe, so I respect that. Next up, we have Giorno. Giorno is like a worse version of a Gojo. He just doesn't time stop as well, but he makes the units go backwards, which is pretty cool. But you can only use him like one time per unit. Sometimes 2 or 3, depending on how good your time stop group is, or if you're doing regular infinite mode. Gojo is an OP time stop unit. Definitely recommended, and has been in the meta for pretty much like a year now. Next up, honestly, probably more than a year. Next up after that, we have Ichigo. Ichigo is going to be a slow unit that can slow airs as well. That's why he's in the meta. Madara, guys, is still the best damage per dollar unit in the game. There are some new 6 stars we'll talk about later, but they still don't come close to Madara. Next up, guys, we have Death. I'm putting Death here, guys, because Death is just so much better than Light Yagami, in my opinion. Meta for elemental mode, on very meta for damage farming. After that, we have Annie. Now, Annie's a weird case, guys. Listen up, guys. I know people are going to hate for me in the comments for putting Annie in S tier, but she apparently has a time stop ability, which is very OP. So we're waiting for the devs to fix it, though, because they actually removed it temporarily. So depending on how Annie's time stop works out, she's going to move up or down, or like stay the same, I mean. Next up, guys, we have Dio. Basically stuns the whole map for like a long period of time. His time stop is freaking P, guys. Definitely highly recommend you pick up this guy. Toad is also good as, not Toad, what the frick, Law from One Piece. Very underrated time stop unit. He's used in all the pro methods to get about 1 extra wave. However, he's very, very hard to use. Blackbeard is meta for every mode, basically, except maybe air mode. Definitely highly recommend you pick him up. Kind of got to get him, guys. Everybody needs this unit. Whis, guys, definitely a strong unit for good for PvP. Might have some use in the rumbling, so I'll put him up here. Levi and Mikasa are about the same. Good bleed units. Baby Vegeta or Baby Vegu, depending on how you think about him. He's a very good unit, but he's very costly. So he's going to move up or down in the meta, depending on if we get a new unit or if we get a new farm unit. If we get a better farm unit than Speedwagon, he's definitely moving way, way up. But if we don't, then he's going to stay the same. He's just not technically worth it. He's okay. He's good, but he's just not quite worth it. Uryu is very good, guys, for story mode and even the new rumbling mode. Definitely recommended you pick him up, guys, if you can. Mikasa, good bleed unit. Eren is very good. His ability is pretty OP. It's going to be doing like, I feel like 10 or 20 million damage to everybody on the map at max level. Definitely recommend you get it. Plus, you can use his ability when he's not max level yet. So he actually is very good for story mode as well. Dungeons, etc. Definitely highly recommend you take a look at him. Especially if you're doing the new rumbling mode. He's meta for that. So there you go, guys. That's the S+ tier. Let's move on to the S tier. You're going to notice what changed. All right, guys. So Luffy is still good. I might move him down, though. I just feel like he's been up here for a while, and I just don't feel like he's really that good anymore. I'll probably move him down in the next update. He's still a very good unit, but I don't know if I can recommend getting him. Aokiji is very good, guys. Very high damage. Same with Koku alternate. Also, guys, these aren't in any particular order. So a lot of these guys are high damage, but just not quite there yet. So they're decent for damage farming in infinite mode, but not quite meta. Gray 6 star is very good for story mode, but again, he doesn't have an element, so that kind of kills him. So he might actually move down. Saber is very good unit. I put Saber up here because Saber is has very good damage and range, etc. Considering she's a farm unit. So if you're doing story modes or dungeon modes, you might want to figure out how to put her in your loadout because she can be a big asset. Next up, we have Kaiba. Very high damage unit, but small range and doesn't hit airs. That's why he's not that high up here. Next up, we have the Boys. The Boys has the best value in the game, but his range is so small that it's hard to use him. And he's hard to get. You have to basically just get RNG in the banner. So that's kind of why he's there. After that, we have Jiren, the new unit. His SPA is 12, which kills him. If his SPA wasn't so freaking high, he would be a lot better of a unit. But he does do over 9. He does around 9.4 million damage at max, which makes him very good. But again, that 12 SPA sucks. So if you're damage farming, he is a good bet, though. But I don't recommend spending your gems on him. I recommend just trading for a Madara. All right, next up we have, but he's definitely better than if you wanted to get like a Naruto. Yeah. So next up after that, we have the range buff unit, very good, but not many people use him. We have Gilgamesh, very good for damage farming, but kind of fallen out of the meta as of lately. So yeah, it is kind of is what it is. Don't really know if I can recommend getting him. Light Yagami is a very good damage farm unit if you have the Death Orb. Make sure you guys get the Death Orb if you have Light Yagami. I see a lot of people that don't have the Death Orb and have Light Yagami, which is just stupid. The Death Orb is going to multiply his damage by so much that makes him like the best damage farm unit in the game. Definitely recommend picking him up if you can't get your hit, because nobody can get a Ryuk. After that, we have Gojo. Decent unit. Very good range for time stop, but I feel like Annie might end up being better, and most people use the 5-star Gojo instead. Naruto has very good DPS, but he's just not quite hitting. He's a very, very good unit, boys, but again, the problem with him is, like, let's just say, he's just not quite as good as Madara, because he doesn't hit airs, basically speaking. After that, we have Naofumi, very high damage. Again, these aren't in order. So, example, Naofumi would be at the bottom of the list. Naruto and Sasuke would be higher. Sasuke is very good as well. He hits airs. I believe he's still meta for air infinite mode, so definitely take a look. Again, I did move Bulma down a tier, like a few tier lists ago. He's just not used anymore. I just definitely, like, if you're a pro player, you want to get Speedwagon instead, basically speaking. So, it is what it is. Bulma's very good, but Speedwagon is what's really hitting. After that, guys, we have your boy Demon Side Ultimate. Good damage, but just really not part of any leaderboard methods as of lately. So he might keep falling down the list. So yeah, most of these units, guys, I don't really recommend getting. That's kind of the thing, except maybe Light Yagami. Light Yagami's the only one I can kind of recommend. And Sasuke and Naruto. But other than that, like the rest of them, they're okay, but like, you know, they're not like a main priority. Okay, after that, guys, we have the A+ tier. 5-star. Banner. All right, let's go up to A+. All right, guys. Okay, Enel is very good, boys. Definitely highly recommend you pick him up. He's very good for the new rumbling mode. If you guys want to know how to get to the new rumbling mode, I do have a guide. Check my channel for that. And the new rumbling mode, I think it might be under adventure. Somebody said under adventure. Yeah, it is under adventure, I think, right here. Yeah, you can go over here, boys. Or if you're in your world 2, it's by the summon. So right here. I think the event's broken, though, so I'm not sure. So let's go back to the A tier. Okay, Tengen is very good. I recommend getting a he's good because he's the only guy I know of that right now that has the lightning element. So definitely recommend him. Tengen's good. He sucks. Kakashi kind of fell out of the meta recently. Don't know if I can recommend getting him. Armin has very good damage. So if you're like a newer player and want a damage farm, he's not a bad bet. This guy does have like the dark thing, which makes him really good. I think Hit is the only other one that has them that I know of. So he's the best guy with this passive. And he's not that hard to get. He has very low trading value. So you might as well just trade for him. Don't open up capsules. It's not worth it. I moved Beerus down because he actually sucks now. I kind of did some math on him. I don't know if I can recommend him anymore. So, yeah. He's definitely worse than Uryu, but... yeah. I definitely say don't bother getting him. Get Uryu instead. Death the Kid. I believe he's also a dark element. But I just feel like this guy's way better than Death the Kid. So, definitely don't bother with him. I wasted my gems on him. I wish I never bought him. Shinji. I just don't feel like anybody uses him. Not that good. Brook 6-star. Again, not that great. This guy got a new orb recently that makes him have very high damage, but other than that, he's not that cracked. It, guys, sucks, bro. He's only up here because he does have an enchantment, which gives him an edge in the new modes. Because the problem is, guys, if you Okay, let me talk about this for a second. So if you're in this mode, guys, you have to have an enchanted units, right? So that's why I rank the enchanted units higher. Because if you don't have an enchanted unit, it's going to do half the damage. So it's basically worthless. So it is what it is. Also, if you guys are worrying about the damage task, it is a new cap at like 380 billion. So that's why I ranked, yeah. Sailor Moon is underrated. You got to get Sailor Moon. I'm just saying. Sailor Moon's underrated, boys. Especially considering she's one of the few units with her passive. Definitely recommend it. Zeke as well. Zeke, you do need him for, like, to use Aaron's ability or Beast Titan. But the problem is he's just not as OP as the other units. But he is very good. At max level, he's probably doing around 180k. So he's actually a very good unit, guys. But he's not quite S tier. He's up there, though. He's a good unit. I definitely recommend getting him, though. All right, let's move on to the A tier. And you'll see a lot of new units in the A tier as well. I didn't change a lot. I might readjust the A tier eventually. Move it to like a B+ tier. Because a lot of these units kind of suck recently. These are basically all units that I can't really recommend getting. But they're not terrible. So let's go over the more important changes. I moved Toshiro down here. I just don't think he's that good anymore. I moved Todoroki and Genos down here as well. Because you might as well rock with Uryu. So I just don't feel comfortable putting Genos as high as Uryu. So I moved him down to the A tier. Still a good unit. Especially if you're new, I highly recommend it. But once you're a pro player, you can't be caught dead using Genos. Same with Todoroki. If you're a pro player, you're not using those units. You're using the new elemental ones. Goku Super is very good as well. Definitely highly recommended to look at him, considering he's a very good 5-star. Decent for damage farming for newer players, but you can't really... He's kind of hard to get, so maybe not. Mikasa 5-star is pretty good, and Android 17 is pretty good. Android 17 does have an enchantment, so if you're a new player trying to do the event, I definitely recommend picking up Android, because he's going to be your easiest way to get in the event, besides getting Uryu, which is a 6-star. So there's the A tier, boys, right there. All right, B tier hasn't changed. Here's the B tier, boys. D tier hasn't changed. There it is. D tier, still the same. Warhammer Titan's actually needed now for Aaron, though. So, not bad, not bad. So, there you go, guys. There's the tier list. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Blam Spot out. Peace.